here we are. We are looking at Nasdaq. We are looking at the Nasdaq. Nasdaq. And let's go. We're gonna do a key level back test, a couple of them, using the first light beacon as your confluence. So what do I mean with that? God, I don't have anything. I broke my. I did like a cleaner thingy on my hard drive, and it logged me out of all of my social media. Deleted all my passwords. Yeah. Um, yeah, that doesn't look real. So, anyways, I was looking at somebody crashing on Limbo, but it doesn't look real at all. Whatsoever. Does not look weird. Does not look real. So we're going to do some key levels and FLB influence grades. And we're going to start right now. So here's 920. So what do we do? We're going to come over here. We're going to find 6 a.m. Right? We want to mark out our key levels. Midnight, 6 a.m. And then we're going to go over here and mark out midnight. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to mark out another 6 p.m. All right. So what is that for? This is Asia and London. Now we're going to mark out from 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. Yep. 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. to get our dailies. Or we could just go to daily candle, but whatever. This is just as fast. And then here we go. There we go. So our daily high, hold on, I'm going to turn off all indicators so I can see just the candles. Our daily high would be right there. And then I got a little template for previous day high. It puts in letters right there on the right, tells me what's going on. And then we're going to come in here and we're going to mark out Asia high, but London swept Asia high already, so we don't need to mark Asia. So we can just come over here and go London high, right? Puts on my template right there for London high. And then we're going to go to whatever lowest. What is lowest? Asia low is lower than London low, so we just only need to mark out London low and London low. And then our previous day low was right here, right? Because this is our previous day block. This is our London, this is our Asia. And we're going to go previous day low right there. And then we're going to delete all these verticals just to clean our screen a little bit. I hit print screen, probably just, or print or whatever it was. There we go. Don't want that. Delete and delete, delete and delete. There we go. And then we'll turn on the first light beacon right there. And we are right at 920. We're in a major zone. What am I using right now? I am using the 15. I like the 32. Let's see what the 30 shows us. Did it not change? Oh no, we're using New York, which is fine. That actually works out too. So this is a New York zone end cap that we're running into. We've already swept London low, Asia low, and the previous day low pre-market. So, and then we're smashing into a session end cap from last Friday. This was the close of last Friday's, or I'm sorry, last Thursday's, whatever day this is. So that previous Thursday's end of the New York session. Here's an end cap sitting right here. And hold on, I don't have any chats open in case people are trying to talk to me. There we go. Just in case. And then restream chat. Everybody's logged in. Click. All right, good. All right, so what did we do? First of all, we marked off our previous day high, low, and then overnight sessions, the highs and lows, right? So we're just looking for main points of key points of liquidity or orders that are going to be in the market. Then we have our first light beacon set on New York session because that's what we're trading. Here's 9:20 right here, 9:10, right before New York starts, and we're already into an end cap here. So there's a bunch of orders sitting here. And what do we need to do? Well, I think we're going to go up, right? Because if you look, we're in an uptrend. We've already taken out all of the liquidity on the lows. So unless this is fueled by some kind of news or whatever, it could crash down in all of these, but more than likely not. And you got to think about your range too, your price range, right? So you can come over here and you can select, where's my freaking tool, man? Where's my tool? Where's my tool? Where's my price range? Right there, right? What is NASDAQ moving? 330, 400 ticks or 400 points, right? So let's look at what this drop pre-market. Let's look at the drop and see what the range is. Well, we're at 400 ticks right now. Well, if you know anything about market structure and wave theory, this is going to pull back 30 to 50% after it hits its range. Well, how am I determining my range? I'm just looking at previous legs, man. What happened overnight? Here to here. Look at that. 330 ticks. Typically, NASDAQ moves 400 points before it retraces and then does what it's going to do. So that's the range. I'm just going to call it 400 points. Well, if you measure this over from the morning right there, from 8 to now, it's already dropped 400 ticks. Do you think you should short that? Fuck no. Why shouldn't you short that? Because you're at the bottom of the fucking range. You don't need ICT to tell you you're in a premium or discount, man. Count the fucking points. Here you go, right here. Look, click, 400 point range. Well, it's already dropped 400 fucking points, and we've already swept the lows of all of the key levels, so probably shouldn't short this, right? Yeah. So let's wait a second and let's see what happens. So we're diving. Nope. Look at that rejection right there. That's still not my entry though. That's not what I'm going to enter on. There's our new zone, 930 just formed. So this is the old zone right here, right? So I bet you anything that this is going to turn around somewhere in here and come up here and get into this, right? Let's find out. And then we'll look for the entry. There's a wick. That's a really nice wick. Let's see if it actually holds. It doesn't hold. Okay, it just cleared out all this liquidity. Let's mark our support right there. Yep. All right. So we just cleared all that liquidity out. So that zone is gone. And what we can do is we can draw it back just to see if we break and retest it. Right. And let's see. Ooh, well, that's, I mean, come on, man. That one candle came up and whipped up and took the high of this candle. Let's see what happens. We're over it. Let's see if we can get it to displace over here. All right, so we've got ourselves a doji here we need to draw. So this is going to become a pivot point right there. All right, here's our doji. This is in our 30-day boot camp. All about these candles right there. They just learned all about them the other day. Now let's get our entry here. Let's look. We need to pull back. Okay, we're grabbing all of these unfulfilled orders. This is what the indicator is going to show you. It's showing you where all the unfulfilled orders are at. So it's going to probably retrace right there. There we go. Beacon's coming down. There we go. Wicked out, back up. I'm entering that trade right there. All right, my stop loss is going right here. And I'm going to go to previous day high. Right there. That's going to be my initial target, but I'm going to trail once we get to it. All right, so there we go. They'll be breaking out. Oops, sorry. You guys can barely see this. There we go. So we're breaking out. Back to our entry, rejects it. There's a breakout. Oh, I meant to move. Fuck. That was too fast. Went too fast. There we go. So previous day high was smashed. TP was smashed. But in all reality, what I would do is I wouldn't even have the TP there. I would be using this, and then I would be trailing the opens right? So we'll pretend that this red line is my trail, and we would keep going with this just to get a little bit more. So every open, well, after it closes, obviously, I'm moving my stop up after my take profit so we can grab some more money, right? So let's just figure out how much that would have been. Where was my entry? It was on this candle here. Let's go. So we won't have a take profit. So this was, boom, there was the entry right there. No take profit. Let's just trail this up and see. There's previous day highs hit, right? So let's delete this, get out of here. And we're going to trail our stop loss under each low of each candle that crashes through our take profit. This is how you maximize the profit when you get into it. So here we go. So we're trailing right there. So we're up 77,000 and that one wicks it out. So it'd be 77,000 for that trade. And let's recap. What did I do? I went back. I found my previous day high, my previous day low, my London high, my London low, right? Highs and lows of each level. And what are we looking for? Right? We're looking for sweeps. Hold on, we want to come back just one more, just so we can start over and show you the indicator. So the indicator is telling you that this is a key level. You need to pay attention to this. Now, since we are already swept the lows of these and we're bouncing into key level, in your mind, you need to be thinking reversal. We are sweeping all the liquidity out of all of these lows right here. Something is going to happen. It is not going to just sit there and go, ooh, look at me. Oh, yeah. I'm doing nothing, guys. I'm just going to bounce around right here. Bullshit. They just got all the gas was just thrown on the fire right here, right? But you got to be smart about it. You can't go, oh, I'm just gonna keep crashing. I'm gonna be a noob, and since this is diving, I'm just gonna click short to be a little rookie, right? No. Do your due diligence. Go measure your fucking range. See how many points the range is. 320 there. 353 there. Right? 387 there. What's that telling you? Around 400 fucking points, this thing's turning around. Just look back. This is just math. It's real simple, right? So if you come into pre-market and you're drawing out all your zones and your levels and you look at this and it's already 380 fucking points dropped, bro, if you short that, you're a dumbass. Don't trade ever again. Stop trading because you're a dumbass if you short that, right? Especially if you're using our fucking algo, because this thing right here is telling you, bro, there's a ton of fucking buy orders sitting in this block right here. This isn't an order block. This isn't some fucking look. Does this look like it's an order block to you guys? No, not an order block. This is the session, the New York session, support and resistance, built off of some shit that's fucking patent pending. I'm not going to tell you what it is. How about that? Right? And when price touches it, it does things. You don't believe me? Well, look at this right here. Look, watch this. There you go. Look at price touched it and it did shit. It was there before price got there. What does that mean? That means this is a leading indicator, one of like 5 that exist in the world. There you go. Click. Watch. Boom. This is one of our main strategies that we use on a daily basis right here. Daily basis. And I'm going to show you our profit and loss channel here in a minute on our Discord with all of our members taking these fucking trades. There you go. There's your entry. There's your stop loss. There's your take profit. The high. It's super simple. Now let's go to another day. Oops. Another fucking New York session day. Where's a New York session day? Right here. New York session day. 9 right there. Click, bitch. Where are you? 9:30. 9:30. 9 a.m. is good enough. All right. So same thing. Watch. I'm going to show you. You know it went down. You need to know it went down. You need to know why it went down. And I'm showing you why it went down. That's the point of this. I can do this shit all day long without looking at what it's doing. I'm not here to prove that. I'm here to prove to you why it works. So 6 a.m. Click. midnight. Click. 6 p.m. Click. So this is Asia. This is London. This is 9 in the morning, right before US Open. And then we're just going to go over here and find the next 6 p.m. So we have our daily candle. Right up right there. 6 p.m. Boom. So now we're going to mark our highs and lows. There's the previous day high template. So we're going to go previous day high on the template. Right. And then we're going to go previous day low right there. And template, previous day low. Those are little things that I've got selected. See how it puts little words over here for me so I know which one's which. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to select Asia high. It got wicked in London, so we don't need to do it. So we'll just go London high. Right. And then Asia low right there. London wicked Asia low right here. Let me turn this off so you can see it. Right there. Asia wicked London low. I'm sorry. London wicked Asia low. So we're setting a London high and London low. And if you look pre-market, it's already taken out the London high and it's already come up and taken out the previous day high. All right. Well, what's our range? Find that. Go over here and measure. What's our point range? Like we need to know this shit, right? So here we go. 277. 200. 253. So it's good to say about 200 to 250 points is our working range right now, right? Just measured it 3 times previous, and that's that. Okay, well, what did this price move from here to here? It's already moved 300 points, and we just wicked the previous day high. Do you think you should buy right here at market open? Do you think that that's a good idea? No, it's not a good idea. It's a really dumb fucking idea, because why? We found our point range. We know it's 200 to 250 points is our working range right now. We're at the top of our working range, way over it. We're overextended. We're 285 to 300 points. And we just wicked out, or just took out the London high, the Asia high, and the previous day high. Just saying, we should probably not be looking for buys, right? So then we turn on our algo here, and it's giving us our zones, right? And here we go. So let's look at what's going on. So we're at 850, right? So we come in here and we just mark our zones out right before 930. Oh shit, I went way too fast. Hold on. All right, so here's 920. Here we go. Boom. Here's 930. Our new zone is formed, and look at 930 immediately dumps. This candle just crashes out right at 930. This candle is, or right before 930, it crashes out. Now let's see what 930 does. 930, we get a doji. Get a doji right there. That's something to draw out. Like, that is telling you that price is contracting and we need to look for movement above or below. Crashes out, crashes out. Wicks. And the entry is just crazy. There's our pullback. Come on. We're respecting. See how the zone is moving down? We're starting to respect that. That is a bear flag. And I'm inclined to enter on this. I'm inclined to enter on that right there. I may be wrong on this one. I'm not sure, but we should probably go stop on our doji, and then we're going to take profit. We hit our previous day low. We're going to take profit at our next session's unfulfilled orders. That sounds like a good spot to start looking for taking profit. And then what are we going to do? So let's draw the line there, right? And we're going to trail it down. Here, we're just change this to that, so we know which one's that. And let's see what happens. There's a zone right there. You guys can see it. Here's our previous session zone. Why we're taking profit there. Trying to anyways. Okay, so it's about to hit that zone. We're going to start trailing our stop loss soon. All right, we got below it. And our stop loss is going to go right there. Right? So instead of closing right at your take profit, we're reaching our take profit and letting price slant through it. And then the first open and close, we're just dragging our stop loss to that candle, right? That's all we're doing. That's when we start trailing so we can maximize how much money we're making, right? And then every time you get a close, you move your stop loss. Just get a little bit more, because what's the name of the game? Win more than you lose. If you get into a winning trade, let that fucker win. So there you go. There's the win. Now let's recap this again. Let's get rid of these damn vertical lines. I should have done that first. What did we do? We drew out our London high and London low, previous day high, previous day low, and then we looked. We measured our range, right? Our previous ranges. Like, what is this thing actually doing? We're getting 200 ticks, right? Here we go. Another 200 ticks. I'm sorry, points, not ticks. And that's what the range is. So when we started right before New York session, we came here and we measured our range. We're overextended. We're 286 ticks. We're past the point of what the range has been doing, right? And we've already wiped out London high, wiped out London low, and previous day high got wicked right here, right? And then it started dropping. Well, right at 9:30, our new zone started to form. Boom, right? Get rid of this. Here's right at 9:30. There's our new form, our new zone, and then our end cap forms. This is where a bunch of unfulfilled orders are sitting at from the previous day, right? We already know that, and it crashes through it with a doji. Holy shit! That's why I drew it out. I used the doji as my stop loss, but you could have literally used the zone as it moved down. Because watch, never even came above it. See that? And then we slammed into, let me back this up so it reprints it. Our unfulfilled zone from this low right here. This was the next low that was available. So you targeted that, right? And then we kept just trailing as price dropped and just milked as much as we could out of it. And look, it turns around on us. See that? Right back up to that level. And it might come down some more. Who knows? I don't know. But we don't care about that. We care about getting what we can. And that was let's measure. We got into it right here on the close of this candle and we got stopped out right there. That was 263 ticks or points, 1,054 ticks. And all you're doing is marking out your key levels and you're using the first light beacon's direction to tell you which way to go or to confirm the entry. So there's no guesswork, right? There's no guesswork at all. Like I already showed you this. If you find out your range is 200 ticks and right before open, you're at the top side at 286 points. I'm sorry, not ticks, but points. You shouldn't even be fucking thinking about buying. You're at the top of the range. Why would you buy the top of the range? Hell no. No, we don't want to buy the top of the range. Man, you could go on a leap of faith and short this bitch and ride the whole thing down. I don't trade like that. I trade confirmations. Now, if you look, this is about this from the drop, from when this dropped to the middle of this consolidation point, about 50% right there, almost to the take profit. These is your leg right here from here to here, and you get your major consolidation in between. Typically, that consolidation is 50% of the move. And if you put this on there and measure that, and so as it's coming down, like, so what am I talking about? Watch this right here. Watch. We'll just delete all this shit. Hold on. So you get a big drop like this, and then you get this consolidation, you get this bear flag, right? Here's your bear flag. Right? What am I talking about? Well, if you take your measuring tool and you put that shit right in the middle of it, 50% is about, that's where the consolidation starts. It's about 50% of the move before it drops again. So you could look at where to take profit on something like this if you're just scalping it out. 21,956.50. So if you wanted to, you could go sell right? And then take profit 21. What did I say? Let's do it again. So 50%, 930. Close enough. Right there. 50%. That's close enough. And that is an equal move down from the leg that came down into the consolidation, and then the equal move down. And that's typically when you'll start to see your retracement back up. See that? Equal move down, consolidate, equal move down. So if you're scalping this out, that's where you can kind of figure out, hey, how far down is this going to go? We just got these cool fancy tools that shows us where all the unfulfilled orders are. And we use those as targets because we know that price is seeking orders. So it's more than likely going to go there. So that's what we do. That's the power of the first light beacon. And that's what this thing is. And basically you can turn any candle into a support and resistance zone. We just go to scalping mode and we can select any candle we want. Here's our candles. And it will turn the zone. Let's turn off the candles for now. Right here, this is an hour zone turned into a support and resistance area. Actually, the hour candle, there we go, turned into a support and resistance zone, moving, dynamic. So when I mean dynamic, this is what I mean right here. So we click this and you will see it's moving. And then these are end caps. These are unfulfilled orders from the previous hour candles. And they're reversal points is what they are really. And if it doesn't reverse, it goes through it, then it's going that direction. Like there's no in between. It does one or the other. And these are hour, and then you can change it to whatever you want. You can go to 15 minutes, 9 minutes, whatever, you can change it. And then when I'm using 15 minutes, I get into second candles and I scalp the shit out of this thing. So how do I do that? Well, you break through, come down, retest the zone. It respects the zone. See how this respects the zone and goes. We'll look at the beacon line. A lot of times I turn the candles right off. Beacon line comes down, comes back up, respects the zone. There's your entry. Comes down, comes back up, respects the zone. There's your entry. Comes down, comes up. It's just showing you market wave. This is a knife edge break. I catch knife edges all the time, and this drops, and it's respecting the zone. See? So how do you get into that trade? Well, you go, okay, so price drops. I might use a RSI or cumulative delta to go, okay, I really like this position here. This is really looking really good, right? And there we go. RSI is dumping below the mid. Cumulative delta hasn't followed suit yet. And cumulative delta is going bearish. And there it is. It breaks the low right there. So I would sell. And then I would just trail this right here. Watch. See, just trailing this zone right here. Not doing nothing special. Just trailing the zone. La la la. There we go. Trailing the zone. It hasn't moved down yet, so we'll just sit right there with it. There it goes. It's stepping down now. And then when a new one forms, most of the time candles retrace into themselves, so I would get out. Right? So we'll just keep trailing in case it whipsaws up. We're trying to move and get the most we can out of this. And then, okay, I might let this one ride. I'm not sure. Let's see. Okay, so it's crashed underneath the zone now, so I'm going to move my stop loss all the way down to the top of this new zone because this is where the new candle formed, right? And I'm locking in 89.50. Let's see what happens. There it goes. So I'm locking in this right here. So I'm locking in 96.50. We go up, it's going to get stopped. There we go. So that's how I trail. That's simple. Pretty simple. Not hard. Not hard at all. Not hard. Anyways, that's it. I'm just having fun, just back testing, showing people what's up. If you want the indicator, you can go pick it up at our website. You can just get the indicators, or you can join the Hunters Club and get into live sessions, automatic trade copying, I don't know, education, whatever, just all kinds of stuff. Oh yeah, I told you I would show you our our uh our Discord. So let me show you that real quick. And here is that's our general chat. Here is our profit and loss channel right here. And here's Scott. These are the last 14 days of him getting trade copies, automatic trade copies into his account. This is his account. Some of these guys, they adjust their own risk, so they make whatever they make. And then here's more. Here's Dark Knight posting his stuff. I wonder if I can make this bigger. Hold on, let me see if I can't stretch this bigger. There we go. That's probably bigger. So there's Scott going off his stuff right there. Here's all these right here. Here's all these right here. And it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on. It doesn't ever, I mean, it goes on since we started doing this last year. You can come into our Discord and look at all this. These are all the people. Can it be any broker? Probably we use NinjaTrader for the trade copying. So it would be any Rhythmic or Trade-of-8 or any account that can actually connect into NinjaTrader. So and then we use Replicano with a local trade copy network with our VPS. There are VPS that we use. So if you don't want to use the same VPS, we have a deal with them where you get it like $30 a month or something, $35 a month. And it's right literally in Chicago next to the exchange, next to the brokers. So the latency is nothing. We still can do it over the internet, but you have to open up some ports because we're not using any third-party bullshit. It's directly from our stuff to yours, right? And it's not hard. We have an installation service for $100. We'll install it all for you if you don't know how. Notorious flawed guy, but and then most of us, we just multi-prop. We use prop firms. So we go our trade plan. Here's our trade plan right here. I wonder how I can open the PDF and how do I fucking do that? Hold on. I don't know. You probably should just go to our website and read it. Basically we risk 250 for 2-to-1s, gain 500. 300 to $500 is our daily goal per account. But then we trade copy 10, 20, 30, 40 accounts on prop firm accounts. So our risk is spread instead of just on one account, right? So if you get $300 and you got 10 prop firms, you just made, $3,000. That's why you see all these people with all these accounts. Like they have all their stuff's being trade copied, right? And then we have different risk profiles right here. I don't know why this is doing that. We have different risk profiles where we have our separate accounts for our daily trades, like our daily normal trade that we try to take. And then we have more aggressive trading, but you don't use the same accounts. Like our daily trade is usually typically a 250 risk, going for a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1, make 500, get out and have that trade copy. Like this guy right here. See all of his accounts here? Got all these accounts that he trade copy this $200, $300 across all of his accounts. And then he's got a couple that are 1,000 or whatever. Those accounts are used just for like our aggressive scalping. Like if honestly, our risk is higher, and if we blow those accounts, we don't care. Our normal accounts, we do care. We don't fuck around with our normal accounts. We just go for our really conservative, strict entry rules and the same amount of risk every time. And basically that's our bill money accounts. Then our Lambo accounts are the ones we go aggressive on and try to maximize like the most we can. So like if you look at this guy, got $300, right, coming in on a bunch of accounts. Some of the trade copiers, his risk profile is a little higher, and but then you go into the higher risk ones and it's $1,000. See that? So that's how we do it. It works pretty good. Everybody's happy. But we're really risk adverse about how we do that. Boom, boom, boom. And then I'm not gonna lie, the tariff for the last 2 weeks really fucking like put a loop through trading. But we just took a step back, looked at what was going on, worked out a plan, and now we're back to green. We didn't have any red days this week. I think we only had 2 red days last week. But yeah, so that's what we do, man. And we make our own tools. We have our own algos. We have our own bots. We have our own everything. This indicator right here is actually going through the patent process right now. It's the first of its kind. Nothing else exists like it, and it's making a lot of people some money. I'll tell you that. And you can install multiple versions of it and applications of it. And this is one of the main setups right here. You just have to be patient when you get into them. Is when I'll show you exactly how it does. You don't even use the candles to do this. It's all about the beacon line right here. So we wait, beacon line come in and come out. We get into the trade. It's not about price. And then our stop loss is the zone. And then we go for our 2-to-1s, 3-to-1s, whatever it's going to end up being. And there you go. So the majority of this trade was sitting at the entry or going into drawdown, and then finally it comes out, right? That's how a lot of those trades work, to be honest with you, because we're getting in while it's basically we're getting in where the unfulfilled orders are. So it's constantly orders are being filled, and that's where positions are being built. So here's one where it actually wicks it. I probably would take this, but this one right here is the picture perfect entry. This one right here is the good one right here. Right there, down and up and out. So we would get in about there. Our stop loss would go right there under that zone. And then we would go for a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1 or whatever it is we're doing. And there's the trade right there. And this thing is badass. It's over. It's pretty much, if you go back test it, you're going to get 90+% win rates. Using it like this, especially if you do it out of the orbs. So if you do it on a 15-minute orb, you wait for, there we go. You wait for price to leave an orb and then come back and retest the zone and then get in. So example, right here, comes back and retest and you get in, you're going to get your 2-to-1. So, and a lot of times you put limit orders on this. So if you go like this, watch, here's your 2-to-1 right here. There it is right there. Boom, you already got it. And the entry was right here. So I'll back it up so you can see it. So you can put a limit order on this zone right here. Price comes down, wicks it, and then there you go. That's literally the next candle over. These are 2-minute candles. There's your 2-to-1 entry right there. Day's over with. You already made you made your $500 because this would be a $250 risk on our stop based on where our stop is. That's how many contracts we're putting in, and then 2-to-1, and there's your $500 in 2 minutes. And then we would go, okay, and then we would stop trading, and then we would just wait for alerts to trigger and look for scalps and go into our scalping accounts and just fucking have fun scalping. That's what a day is like right now. Yep. What it's like. So if you go to our website, click on Discord, you can come in here and you can look at our Discord. You can talk to people. You can look at our shit, look at our trade plan, look at our strategies. You can look at our profit and loss channel. You can check out the bots. You can look at all that shit before you ever make a decision whether to join us or not. But I am getting out of here. You guys have a good one. The website is breakouthunter.com right there at the bottom.